So Pyke is about to go live in the next patch, and he's unlike any support we've seen before, ever in League of Legends. So it kind of makes you wonder, do we even really need supports like that? I'm Jetset, and this is Q Thoughts, some thoughts for you to think about while you wait for your Q to pop. So Pyke is actually really interesting, and I'm really excited to see him. On top of the whole spooky underwater, death from below type deal, I am really excited to see an assassin support. It's honestly an archetype that we've never seen before, and I'm really hoping that they pull it off. He's got some weird mechanical quirks that I don't really understand how they're gonna play into the meta as a whole, like the whole, how he never gains HP, even if he buys HP items, it goes into AD. It's kind of awkward. He's got this little stabby stab move. He's kind of mobile, but not really. And then that gold reset, or his ultimate reset with the gold sharing is gonna be nuts, and I think is gonna inflate the entire league economy as we know it. But that notwithstanding, we can reel back and say, this man is designed as a support. Riot knew what they were doing when they did this, and it kind of really puts everything into question. If Riot thinks that Pyke is a better decision than some of our traditional supports, what does that mean for what we need in this game? So if you think about what it means to be a support in the meta, right? You look at a champion composition, you look at a champion's kit, and you say, okay, this champion has utility built into its kit, has something that makes it valuable even if it's not getting any gold, right? Because if you think about the bot lane, ADC is hogging all the gold. Without a couple of items, support's only getting the passive gold that you get, every couple seconds. So he or she needs to be useful throughout the game from beginning to end in order to even be a viable champion to pick. So in come traditionally healers. Here come people with CC. You've got the Sonas, the Namis, the Sorakas, obviously, the Lulus, right? So those champions, obviously being able to survive without netting gold, end up presenting a problem, right? If you balance them such that they are useful simply baked into their kits, like I mentioned before, then once they do get gold, it becomes a shit show. They're really owning the entire game because they were good from moment one. They can be good throughout the game. So what did Riot do, right? When these support champions were overpowered across the board, they needed a response. So they tried stuff like nerfing healing, they tried stuff like buffing resistances, they tried stuff like including certain items that had sort of trade-offs even for the support role, but some of them ended up being so overpowered that people used them in other lanes anyway. That got rid of those items, and then supports were down in the dumps again. So support has always been, a kind of feast or famine type of situation. So you find yourself either starving to death for the whole game and hoping to God that someone doesn't curse you out for not placing a ward because you just are too squishy to do it, or you just tank forever because you've just been amassing gold and roaming across the map like a god. So what does that mean now? What do we have now in terms of support? You've got Rakan dominating League of Legends right now. Pretty much one of the most mobile champions to ever exist. We can talk about mobility creep in another episode because that's a whole other story. But Rakan can really, on top of just being everywhere, he can actually solo people. He can solo some of the squishier champions in the game, which I kind of think is not okay as a shield support. But instead of maybe doing something about that, Riot said, no, you like that? We're gonna lean into it. We're gonna make an assassin support. Not only are you okay to solo people, you should solo people. In fact, you should maybe get your ADC to have one hit in so they can get a bucket of gold for all of your work. I don't know how to feel about that personally, because as an ADC main, I like to get the last hit, and that's really important to me. But you know what? If that means that I can have some more fun playing support instead of, right-clicking and hoping for the best, or, landing the one skill shot that means I'm meaningful, otherwise everyone's gonna flame me, I get it. Even players try to make their own role more fun by using mages or putting 2 bruisers in the bot lane like Atlanta. I see you, Atlanta. Picture of a goose. I was there. I wasn't actually there, but I mean, I saw that it was cool. It was a dope play, okay? And mage supports. I see you, Brands. I see you, Lux. I see you trying to make the game more interesting for yourself by doing damage, contributing more to the team in a meaningful way. Unfortunately, healing still exists, and sustain is always going to outdo just about anything. Would you sustain in CC, and like being able to exist in the game without netting gold is always just going to be more fun. So I think with the addition of Pyke, while I'm not 100% sure players will respond to it in the way that Riot is expecting them to, I think Pyke might shake the meta up in a really interesting way for supports and add for some diversity that I think the role has really been lacking. Unless, of course, you know, everyone just takes Pyke to other lanes like they did with Lulu, and then he'll get nerfed to the ground and no one will be able to play him. Thanks, Riot. So what do you think about Pyke? Is he gonna shake up the meta? Because I personally would rather not see a healer support ever again. So if you agree, comment. And if you don't agree, be sure to comment because I will fight you. So anyway, that's it for Leaderboard Esports. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're interested in more esports content, and hit that bell icon to become part of the notification squad. We upload about a few times a week. So if you want to know more about Overwatch, League of Legends esports, or esports in general, you'll want to keep it locked. Thanks for watching.